Hello friends, so I am back with a card. This is going to be a masculine card. I really wanted to make sure that I had, a stamp set that I can send to guys because a lot of my stamp sets are very like feminine based with flowers and whatnot. So I got the Dad and Me set and I'm going to make a thank you card because my boyfriend's dad installed heated seats in my car for Christmas. So I mean, that's pretty intense, you know. I know that was like no easy feat. So I decided to make him a thank you card. So this is the process of me doing it. So as you can see, I'm just using distress ink and blending in this brown. I'm not making it super perfect. I don't think it really matters. And to be honest, I am still practicing my ink blending. I really just wanted kind of like a faded brown because as you'll see very soon, I'm going to emboss this. So I just went ahead, covered the whole thing in brown, and then as you are probably aware, distress inks react to water. So I just went ahead, put a little bit of water all over the card, and then picked it up with some of a paper towel just to add a little bit more texture and interest to the background of this card. And then I'm going to take the We Are Memory Keepers wood grain embossing folder and I'm going to put that through my Spellbinders, I don't know what it's called, like machine, my Spellbinders machine, which is what I use. I don't feature it in here because I have a little spot for it in my apartment. But I just went ahead and put that through the machine and I'm going to glue this down before I get started on anything else because sometimes I figure I just want the base to be glued on really well before I start to assemble just because the base is pretty important. It doesn't flip around. So I'm adding the Tombow Mono multi glue, I think it's called, and I just got this for Christmas. I am very, very happy with how it has been adhering things to my card. I found that the Aqua Tombow Mono thing that I was using before ended up warping some of my cards. So if you are looking for something that really adheres your cards without kind of changing the shape of the paper, I would highly suggest using the Tombow Mono multi-glue. Then I'm going to go ahead and stamp a couple of these down. I'm going to do the two little bears because I'm going to use the sentiment, "You are officially awesome." And I only have one color of pigment ink, and that's black, and then I don't have any other colored inks. And as you can see, this whole water portion is a one big stamp, so there's no coloring in the water. This is going to be whatever color you put down. So I'm using a distress ink, and it does pull up on the stamp, and I actually like the way that that looks. So I'm keeping it just like that. If I wanted to, I could put this in my mini Misty and then just continuously stamp until I get the color to be solid, but this is genuinely what I wanted it to look like. So I'm going to stamp the water, and then I'm going to stamp some of the hills and some of the grass as well, all using my distress ink just to add a little bit of texture to the ink versus a solid one. Since these were kind of thinner, I was wanting a little bit more ink for it to stand out because as you can see when you first stamp it down, it's just super light. So I'm stamping a couple of those, cleaning it off with my stamp chamois, which I also got for Christmas. As you can see, I have asked for a lot of things for Christmas when it comes to stamping and card making. If you're new to the hobby like I am, it can easily start to add up. So whenever I have an option to potentially get something as a gift, that's generally what I ask for. So I got some fun things this Christmas. And then after I'm done stamping, I think this is all that I've done. I already have some pre-colored little fish that I made because I started making another card just like this earlier. So I'm going to have all of these, and then I'm going to start coloring. I'm going to speed this up really fast. I'm using the chameleon markers in order to blend and color in the bears. You can just add a little bit of the colorless blender into the nib to make it lighter colors. If you guys would like more videos of me not speeding this up to show the actual process, let me know. Because like I said, I'm new to crafting and I could not afford Copic markers. So my best friend got me a good amount for my birthday, but if you color with Copics, you know you need a lot in order to, really blend and get that done. So I'm using chameleon markers, which I really like. They're alcohol based and I think do a really good job. Of course, I wish I had a lot of Copics, but work with what you got, and I don't think people are going to complain when they get a handmade card. And they're like, this bear isn't blended perfectly with Copic markers. At least I hope not. So anyway, right now I am using My Favorite Things oval stitch circle to kind of build my scene, and I'm putting everything that I had just die cutted down onto my little die cut oval. Just making a little scene, and then I'm going to go ahead and adhere this. I am going to pop up this little circle because I want to add some dimension to the card. So I went ahead and took some foam that I just got from Walmart, and I'm putting some glue on the back of it, and then I'm going to adhere this to the back of that. Don't you just love that glue technique? Just put a bunch of little dots down and call it a day. I don't know why I did that. But anyway, just adding some glue. I wish I would have made this a little bit bigger, but it's fine. It's so cheap that if I really wanted to, I could have just went back and made a little bit bigger of an oval. But then I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to the front of my card, just like so. And I'm loving the background of this. I think it's so like masculine and perfect for this stamp set. And I think embossing really adds just like this extra layer to your cards. And then I put a sentiment on another My Favorite Things. I think it's called a tag or a sentiment tag that's pretty long. And then I went ahead and put some more foam on the back of that so that this would have the same amount of dimension as my card below. And you can always stack more of, and I almost put it on backwards. You can stamp or add more of the foam to add even more dimension. You don't have to just leave it at this. But yeah, so this was really going to finish off the card. Really nice and simple. This is kind of what it looks like at the end. Some up close pictures and videos. So I hope that you guys really enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.